All right, this is great. We on Cashflow Canucks today, we have Christine Zhu. She is from Moneybroker Canada and is the leading alternative lender in Canada. And Christine, welcome.
Thank you, Peter.
Christine, tell me a little bit about your business and what you do, and let's talk about, because you're more than just a broker, right? But maybe just talk about
Yeah.
the business at a high level, and then we can dive into how you got into it.
Okay, so maybe let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Christine Su. I'm a mortgage broker in Toronto for past 21 years. So as a junior broker, when I just started, I know nothing about mortgage, and I have difficulty obtaining my own mortgage at that time. So during the past 21 years, I've been transformed from a brand new rookie broker to a very experienced mortgage broker. I right now in the Canadian mortgage industry, I'm the only person, I think, 3 times received the Alternative Mortgage Broker of the Year award in Canada. And so my main focus in the mortgage world is doing alternative mortgage to help people who has difficulty obtain the regular financing from their banks to get their financing. And also we have a mutual fund trust established, just try to do private mortgages. So we have 2 sides. One is the brokerage side. By the way, our brokerage side, Moneybroker Canada, also received the finalist award for the this year for Canadian Mortgage Award as the finalist nominee. And we have also in our team the finalist for the underwriter of the year in Canada as a lender side. So we have a lender side, we have a brokerage side.
Awesome. And these the awards, are they given out, I guess they're given out annually? Is it around this time of year? When is that happening?
It was just yesterday, actually.
Oh, it was.
So
Okay.
it's an annual award, Canadian Mortgage Award, CMA award.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Very good. And so, yeah, I guess what did you say? You've been doing it for over 20 years now?
Yeah, just past 20 years.
And what got you into it in the first place?
So I was a self-employed financial advisor at the time. My ex-husband at the time was a self-employed lawyer. So we both are self-employed person. When we purchase our own home, we have lots of difficulties to get the regular financing from our own bank. So we met a mortgage broker, and we actually obtained our mortgage from the mortgage broker. So that time I didn't know there's something exists as a mortgage broker. So I changed my career from a financial advisor, became a mortgage broker in year 2000.
Very nice. And so you got licensed, and then you're not just mortgage broker, but now you're kind of the cream of the crop in terms of like being very successful in dealing with alternative lending. So is there a specific niche that you specialize in when it comes to alternative lending? Is it for investors? Is it for, people just can't get financing at bank, or what specifically do you?
Yeah, so alternative financing, there's most of applicants, they are just like for myself, like a self-employed person. So self-employed, lots of people who making enough money to support a mortgage, support a home. However, they have very good accountants. They help them to write off lots of costs, and so the personal income is not very high. And if you go to your bank, the bankers only look at your tax return. They say, "Wow, John, you say you're making 200,000, like operating a good business, but on your bank in your tax return you only have 50,000. So we cannot approve your mortgage." So one is the income issue, and also the other very common issue being turned down by the bank is a credit issue. So the lots of self-employed people, they are adventurous in taking different business ventures. They may if it's not a successful business venture, maybe damage their credit, or they're using all their money to try to fund their business. So the regular lender in the bank, so the credit requirement is getting higher and higher. Most self-employed people, they require 680 beacon score. So lots of people would be turned down from the bank. So that's major two issues.
Very nice. And then you the other side of the business is the mutual fund trust. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so mutual fund trust, we encourage people. I mean, we think that's the best way for investor to invest. People give us money. In Ontario, we take investor as little as $5,000, and of course, we like to have accredited investors as well. And so we have a mutual fund trust, fully regulated by the Security Commission, and this trust is established. The sole purpose is funding private mortgages. So sometimes not only you're not being turned down by your bank, you probably need private mortgage to try to bridge the needs for the financing. Say short term, you need to borrow say $100,000 from your home, but you have a big mortgage with a bank with a very good rate. You may not need to break the mortgage. You not need to break the mortgage. We'll probably add a second mortgage in behind for the short term. So you may to buy the supply inventory you need, and you can pay off quickly. So this fund is sole purpose, the only investment is for mortgages. So it's very secure for the investors. And for the borrower, we are very flexible. You can borrow money anytime, and we usually fund it within a couple of days if we have an appraisal done. And you can return it. You can pay it back anytime as well.
And so that gives an I guess the borrower many different options, not just outside of the bank, but the alternative lenders. Would flexibility and maybe your rate get impacted as you go from the banks through the spectrum of lending, from banks to alternative lenders to private lending?
Yeah, so alternative lending, actually, we can see the two parts. One is also institution. Some alternative lenders are very big, like the companies like a Home Trust Bank of Canada is a bank, Equitable Bank of Canada is also a bank. So those are two very well-known alternative lender. Community Trust is huge, right? So they are regulated by financial. It's regulated by the fiscal by the banking industry as well. So they have to qualify the borrower by their income as well. But they treat the income is different than the regular bank. Instead of look at your notice assessment, they look at your overall pictures, right? So those the interest rate are very good. Right now, it's very similar to the Schedule A banks. So if you borrow a mortgage, right now the interest rate can be as low as only 2.59 for 1 year. The other side of alternative lending is private lending. So private lending, the lender do not really care about your income, do not really care about your credit. They only emphasize is your asset, your house, like how much it worth, right? As long as they secure there's enough security there, they'll lend you the money. But from the private side, used to be it's very expensive, but right now the cost is very low as well. Because of the whole market interest rate is getting down, so the private funding can be as low as like 5.99, like less than 6%. So and good thing for private lending, there's no requirement to qualify for you for anything with credit with income, only doing appraisal or to the property.
Right. So they want to have security to the property, potentially security to other assets that you may have. And so at the end of the day, they're good with that. And then what about things like construction loans, all that? Where does that play into it? Can you get that through private lenders as well?
Lots of private lender doing construction loan. For our mutual fund trust, we do not do construction loan, only doing mortgages. For lots of lenders, they are specialized for commercial loans and the large construction loans and large commercial loans as well, industrial, commercial. As a mortgage broker, anything makes sense, we'll get you the money. So if you can convince me you're able to replay and there's security there, I am able to get you the money.
Right. No, fair enough. And then I guess going back to just talking about your success as your company as a mortgage broker, what do you think are key elements that have made you successful in this time?
For myself, I always like to continue learning, and I always like challenges. So being a broker for past 20 years, really the deals or people excite me is the way I can find a solution to help my applicants, help our clients. So for me, I always try to find solutions. So anything, that's why anything it makes sense, I'll try to find a way to work with it. And also because I'm being in the industry for so long, and I know most of lenders, like for most lender we deal with, I know their policy very well inside out. So I know which deals go to which lender. So when people call me for a situation, usually I can give them the reply instantly. So nobody really had to wait for 5 days of getting a turn down or something. I can, like, I'm a very straightforward person. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. So I will ask your income situation, your credit situation, and like tell me your story. Then I can let you know right away, yes or no, or maybe, and why. What do you expect? So, I think most people coming to us as a mortgage broker is they already have issues with the bank, so they really want someone to give them advice, give them guidance, and that's what I'm there for. So, my whole company, that's the same situation, same training. Everybody who call us will give a very direct, straightforward answer and let you know what to expect. How can we help you?
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's so good, such a good message for people to hear. Whether or not you're a homeowner or you're an investor, it's not a fixed result, right? Working with someone creative like yourself, to be able to collaborate, you've had a lot of experience. That knowledge has compounded in terms of knowledge and contacts, and kind of knowing how to work with people to get them to a solution. There's never just a straight yes, no. There's always alternatives. Yeah, no, that's good. And what about your team? How do you collaborate within your team? Are you, do you different people doing different tasks or different jobs or different ways of serving people within your group? Like, you're not doing all the work
by
yourself.
myself? No. We have a very good team. Actually, we have a team of 10 staff, and each deal we actually have a few team members to work with it. So we have like a sales team, like myself and another person we call a sales team. So we are both very experienced. We've been in the industry for past 20 years. So any people will call us and tell us your situation, we can recommend a solution. And then we have an underwriting team, and then we have fulfillment team. So underwriting, we package your deal and send it to a lender, and fulfillment team is when the approval coming back. Of course, there are documentation to follow. So we are very efficient. Some private deals we can fund it next day because we have the everything is a process, right? And as a private mortgage, we can fund it next day, of course. For institutional mortgage, usually for the banks, they require 3 to 4 weeks, so a month to close it. So that's our team of the mortgage side. And also with the investment side, same thing. We have our talking about mutual fund trust, Ready Capital mortgage investment trust. All we do is funding private mortgages. So we have the underwriting to see whether the deal is secured. We want to see we got enough security, and to make sure all the investment is secured. And also we have the fulfillment side. We have working together with a team of lawyers, so we can fund the deal very quickly.
Very nice. And you're, I was going to say, you're based out of Unionville. Like, for those who don't know, in Markham. Are there specific areas that you do business in more so than others? Are you, in the GTA? Are you all of Ontario? Are you across Canada? where do you specifically work?
Our mortgage brokerage is registered Ontario registration. We're doing everything in Ontario. Of course, we have brokers. We in the different province in our country. We can work together, but mainly our strength is the Ontario mortgages. And for our investments at Ready Capital, we can sell the investment throughout the whole country. I want to spend a little time talking about Ready Capital Mortgage Investment Trust. It's unlike the regular MIC mortgage investment company. We are a mutual fund trust. It's a security. So we are open to all investors, small investors to start in Ontario as little as $5,000. For other provinces, the minimum is $25,000. It can be a cash account, RSP account, and tax saving account. And the returns we give to investors, we target return is 8% plus. So every month, we base on our target 8% return, we distribute our interest to all investors. So if people need cash flow, so every month you'll receive 8% divided by 12. So if you invest 150,000, for instance, every month you're going to receive $1,000 in your account. So you can decide to have this $1,000 used as your cash. I mean, you can use it, or we can reinvest for you. So the compound interest return, the target return is 8.3%. Because the compound effect, right? So that's a very flexible investment. We don't have a lock-in period, so people have money saved. For instance, you're buying a condo, doesn't close until 2 years. You can put money in there, and you can give us 2 months notice to withdraw the whole investment. If the amount's less than $1 million, if it's over $1 million, give us 3 months notice. You can withdraw the money, and all the income are considered interest income. By the end of the year, we give you a T3 slips. We don't do anything with the higher risk. So there's no capital gain, there's no dividend. Everything is investing mortgages, is interest income.
Very nice. And are we going to say, like, those are some of the things to just for people to be aware of when they are investing? As I learned kind of putting my money into different investments over the years, is, you know, the locked in period. That's so key. I've had money that's locked in, and it may take like literally 6 months to get the money out, right? That's maybe having control is so important. Liquidity. The question I was going to ask you 2 questions. Accredited, do you have to be accredited to do it or
No.
not? It doesn't sound like it, right?
Yeah, so we are a mutual fund trust distributed through a EMD. We have an offering memorandum, but we can take a smaller like investor who just start up savings, right? So we don't have to be accredited investor. So anybody who want to invest with us to start their investment, we can take the investment. So as little as $5,000 in Ontario. So
right.
Yeah, you don't have to be accredited investors.
And what about can you drip it? Can you reinvest that interest right back in?
Right. Yeah. So this compounding dripping. Yeah. So the compounding target, the return is 8.3%. So we just finished our audit for 2020. We have the audit financial statement. We'll have our annual AGM meetings just a couple of weeks ago. So last year, our total return is 8.57 with a compounding with people who are taking a drip, because as a mutual fund trust, where by tax regulation, by the year end, we have to distribute all our income to investors. So unlike the private MIC, they can decide what to do with the extra money. But for our mutual fund trust, we have to distribute all the profit to all investors.
Very nice. And so I guess that must have taken a while that's a whole nother thing in terms of just one being a mortgage broker versus setting up a mutual fund trust. That must have been a lot of work to get that initially.
Yeah, we have a different team doing that. We have our own the outside security lawyers, of auditors, and then we have an administrator as well. And for us, because our strength is the mortgage side, so we control every investment. So every deals come in who want to borrow money, we go through very strict underwriting. As what we say, I think our fund giving the investors very good return, over 8% return. However, when we're lending out, because we have lending partners, we have a strategy. Our private fund actually is right now is the cheapest in the country too. So our first mortgage, our interest rate is as low as 5.95%, and second mortgage start with 8.99. The way we can do it with giving investor more return, giving a borrower less money, because we have a very good partner to work together with our bundle strategy.
Very nice, very nice, and that speaks to a lot of the work that you put in to build it to this point. I guess what I wanted to add to is just I guess what is next for you? I mean, one is like, is there anything that's changing your business in the last year since pandemic's taken place, and do you see anything in terms of, has that changed how you're looking forward coming out of the pandemic?
Yeah. So for us, we think alternative lending is almost become mainstream in the whole lending industry, for people who are self-employed, or even for employed people during the pandemic especially. Lots of people received government support. Lots of self-employed people have tenant issue, have their income being greatly affected. So lots of qualified borrower become unqualified borrower from the bank. So for the alternative side, because everything there's so much money available right now, and really everything become less expensive. So I want to tell your audience over there, if you want to invest in real estate, I think real estate investment is still the best investment. If you want to invest in real estate, don't be discouraged if your bank say no. Looking for mortgage brokers, looking for good mortgage brokers, most likely they can help you to fulfill your investment dreams. And don't think private lending, alternative lending is really a scary place. It's not. Really, the alternative lending, the interest rate is almost the same as a regular banks lending, like start from 2.59. So just ask for advice, seeking out the advice from mortgage broker. I think that's would be a very good advice.
Oh, that's good. I think that's what I really preach in terms of with this group. It's the reason I created it was just to continue my learning and share that with others, and enabling myself and being able to enable others. But it really comes through knowledge, right? Because I think we just because, oh, my parents got their mortgage at a bank, so I'm just going to do that. But once you kind of peel back the onion a bit, there's a lot more alternatives out there. So Christine, I really appreciate you sharing your story and how you're helping Canadians. And you're right, in terms of investing in their dream home or their investments or whatever that may be, and even how you're helping them in terms of grow their wealth through your mutual fund trust as well. So can you, if you have any final thoughts, please share them, and then if you can also tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. Yeah. So alternative lending, I want to say my final words. Lots of people think alternative lending is only for people who doesn't have enough income, or doesn't have a good enough credit, which is totally a myth. We're dealing with lots of very qualified investors. So right now, if you only multiple properties, sometimes more than 4 or 5 properties, it's very hard to getting a regular funding from the bank. But for alternative lenders, there's no limit. As long as you can demonstrate you have down payment, you're able to afford it, and we can get you a mortgage. And so anything need to have a good conversation, discuss, feel free to reach out to me. So my name is Christine Su. If you Google me, Christine Su mortgages, I think I'm on top Google first page, you can find me. And my company called Moneybroker Canada. So it's moneybroker.ca. That's my website. You can find me. And readycapital.ca. That's our mutual fund site. But yeah, find me, give me a call, and I will return your call. Not right away, but within a couple of hours usually.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.